Everybody wants to get rich. Nobody agrees on how. Type how to get rich into the internet and you get about 40 million answers, each one shouting over the last, most of them filmed in a rented Lamborghini. Dave has watched all of them. Twice. At 2 a.m. on the same laptop he once used to plan a boat purchase around a savings account. So today we're doing this properly. We're going to take the internet's favorite ways of getting rich, hand each one to Dave, and follow the money until we find out where it actually goes. Spoiler, mostly not to Dave. Quick look at the menu. According to the internet, you can get rich by dropshipping, day trading, crypto, starting a business, building a passive income empire, waking up at 5 a.m., cold showers, and something called monetizing your mindset, which we're fairly sure is not a real sentence. Before we start, notice one small thing. Almost every video explaining these methods ends the same way, with a course you can buy. Hold that thought. It's going to matter later. Method 1. Dropshipping. You open an online shop. You sell a product you've never touched. A warehouse very far away ships it. You keep the difference. No inventory, no skills, no problem. Dave opens a shop. Dave sells phone cases. So do roughly 400,000 other people, every single one of whom watched the same video Dave did at the same 2 a.m. To stand out, Dave buys ads. Ads cost money per click, whether anyone buys or not. So Dave pays £2 a click, sells a 12-pound phone case that costs him $9, and after a month of grinding, his shop has generated negative £200. And one 5-star review from his mom. Here's the quiet maths. When a method has no barrier to entry, everyone enters. When everyone enters, the profit gets competed down to roughly nothing. And the only people reliably making money are the ones charging everyone else to play. The ad platform, the shop software, and, there it is, the course. The person who got rich from Dave's dropshipping store was the platform. It usually is. Method 2, trading. The candles, the screenshots. Somewhere out there, a guy turned 500 pounds into 50,000 in a weekend, and he would love to tell Dave how. Here's what the screenshot doesn't show. On the other side of every trade Dave makes, someone is selling the exact thing he's buying, and that someone is, statistically, not another Dave. It's a bank with a supercomputer, parked physically next to the stock exchange so its orders arrive before Dave's finger has finished clicking. Dave is playing chess against people who own the board and paying a small fee every time he moves a piece. The studies on this are brutal and boring, and they all say the same thing. The overwhelming majority of day traders lose money over time, not because they're stupid, because the game is priced for them to lose slowly enough to keep playing. And the screenshots are real, by the way. That's the trick. Get a million people flipping coins and someone flips heads 10 times in a row. That guy is not a genius. That guy is a coincidence. He is also, as of this morning, selling a course on coin flipping technique. Crypto, quickly, since Dave is already typing. Crypto is the same game with the training wheels removed. At least a share is a slice of a company that makes something. A coin is worth what the next person will pay for it. Which means the plan, whether anyone says it out loud or not, is to sell it to someone who shows up later than you did. There's a name for the person who shows up last. Dave has been that person 4 times. He calls it buying the dip. The dip has so far declined to stop dipping. Method 3. Hustle. Wake up at 5 a.m. Cold shower. Second job. Third job. Sleep is for people who don't want it badly enough. And look, credit where it's due. Working more hours does earn more money. That part is genuinely true. Dave drives a delivery van in the evenings now, and actual money actually appears. But here's the ceiling they never put on the motivational poster. When you sell hours, you run out of stock. There are 24 of them. Ever. You're already spending some on sleeping and, ideally, blinking. Dave hustles his way up to 70-hour weeks. His income goes up 40%. His blinking goes down 60%. And at the end of the year, he runs the numbers and discovers he earned more, spent more, because exhausted people order a lot of takeaway, and grew his actual wealth by roughly the price of a used sofa. You cannot outwork arithmetic. Selling hours is a salary with extra steps, and every salary has a ceiling. It's you. Method 4. Passive income. Money that arrives while you sleep. The dream. Dave loves this one, because the thing Dave is best at is technically sleeping. The internet's version goes like this: record a course or an audiobook, or start a faceless YouTube channel. No offense. Set it running, and the money flows in forever while you lie on a beach. Dave starts smaller, actually. He buys a vending machine, the internet's favorite starter empire. Location is everything, they said. Dave's location is a corridor. The machine earns £9 a week, 4 of which go to restocking, 1 of which the machine eats and refuses to give back. It is, so far, Dave's most successful investment. For the machine. Undeterred, Dave goes bigger. He records a course. It takes 4 months. It's about boats. 11 people find it. 2 of them are Dave. Because here's the part the word passive is hiding. Everything that pays you while you sleep had to be built while you were very much awake, usually for a very long time, usually for free. Passive income isn't a hack. It's just wages, paid late, to the few projects that survive. The beach is real. The queue for it is just 40 million people long. Method 5. Start a real business. And this one's different because it actually is how a lot of genuinely rich people got rich. Every founder on every podcast says the same sentence. I bet everything on myself, and it paid off. What the podcast doesn't book, the 1,000 other people who bet everything on themselves that same year, and it didn't. Around half of new businesses are gone within 5 years. The podcast only interviews the ones still breathing. That's not lying exactly. It's casting. So yes, a business can make you rich. It's the only method on this list with no ceiling at all. It's also the only one where you can lose the house. The course seller mentions neither half because both halves are bad for business, and the course is £499. Okay, so how do actually rich people actually do it? Not screenshot rich, the boring, documented, tax return kind of rich. Here's the pattern, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. They own things. A salary is money for your time. It arrives, you spend most of it staying alive, and it stops the second you stop. Ownership is different. A share pays dividends while you're asleep. A property collects rent while you're on holiday. A business earns while the owner is on a podcast, telling you to wake up at 5 a.m. Rich people are not working 100 times harder than you. Nobody works 100 times harder than anyone. There aren't enough hours in the day. We checked. It's the same 24 they gave Dave. Their money works instead. And ownership stacks in a way ours never can. The dividends buy more shares. The rent pays off the next deposit. The business buys another business. Nobody is doing anything heroic in that sentence. No 5 a.m., no ice bath. The assets are just quietly buying each other while everyone involved is at lunch. That's the actual machine. It's not a conspiracy, it's not even hidden. It's just arithmetic that only switches on after you own something. We did a whole video about how slowly money grows itself, and the punchline was the snowball pays the big pile far more than it pays you. This is that same punchline, seen from the other side. Owning things is how you get a pile in the first place. Which brings us to the one bit nobody can sell a course about. To own things, you have to buy them. To buy them, you need money left over after living. That leftover, the gap between what you earn and what you spend, is the entire game. No gap, no snowball. Small gap, slow snowball. Everything else on the internet is decoration. And if your gap is tiny, and for a lot of people it genuinely is, that's not a mindset problem, that's just rent. Then the honest lever isn't a secret method, it's making the earning side bigger. Skills, the boring kind, the license, the certificate, the software nobody at your work can use, the second language. Raise what an hour of you costs, and every hour you are already working starts leaving more behind. Same day, same commute, bigger gap. That's the one version of hustle that actually compounds instead of just tiring. So, how to get rich? Here is the entire answer. Free of charge. Spend less than you earn. Make the earning bigger. Use the gap to buy things that pay you. Then wait an annoyingly long time. That's it. 3 sentences and a nap. It doesn't fit on a Lamborghini and nobody can charge £499 for it, which is exactly why nobody is shouting it at you. Dave, meanwhile, has processed everything we just learned and drawn his own conclusion. The real money is clearly in selling courses. His launch is tonight. How to get rich. The Dave method. £499. There's a module on boats. Don't be Dave. Or actually, be Dave for 1 second, because Dave subscribed at the end of the last video. And here's the thing, it pays him every single week, which if you were paying attention for the last 10 minutes, technically makes it an asset.